Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is July the 9th, 2019. Strong hand, be a unique beast, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Bitcoin having hype, unconfiscatable. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Offended by selling. Don't FOMO on altcoins. In motion, 5-digit realm. All right. Personal responsibility is new counterculture. Check out all the links below. Watch all my old shows, disruptmeister.com, TECHBALT. That's TechBalt on Twitter. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below. Every aspect of this show, including these new shirts I've been wearing. This is the last one of the Lightning Hood models that were sent to me. I like this one. This is Satoshi Nakamario Bitcoin, bringing it back to the Nintendo days there, I guess. Another Japanese reference. All right, so yeah, I think I'll bring this baby with me to Israel. I like this one. This is good. I got to bring at least one of these new lightninghood.com shirts with me. So yeah, tomorrow you'll get a show from Baltimore. It's already been taped, but I'm going to be on my way to Israel. So you'll get on Thursday a show from Israel. Remember, a new show every day, and I will be in Tel Aviv until Rosh Hashanah, until late September. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. I'm just looking forward to being back in awesome Tel Aviv and awesome Israel. All right, so remember, if you guys have questions in the chat, you type in Bitcoin Meister, and I will see the orange Bitcoin Meister and answer your questions. You could do a super chat also. Cryptocurrency links are below. Nick Carter reminds us of something that is going on that many people are not talking about. Bitcoin, in terms of realized cap, is at an all-time high today. Now, that's fiat freakish, but it is a measurement that not many people use. People like to use how much one Bitcoin costs. People like to use market cap of Bitcoin. This is a little bit better measurement than market cap when it comes to cryptocurrencies, because it takes into account the price of the Bitcoin the last time it was moved. And at this point, we are at an all-time high. People have clearly been moving their Bitcoin during this fiat price spike. People have been buying Bitcoin, whether they've just been moving or buying and selling. It shows that it is very active, even at this high price. And he sums it up, and again, this is linked to below. The cost basis of your average holder is at an all-time high, higher even than the peak in 2017, because not everyone transacted at those extreme highs. Hey, so I think that is bullish. I think it's worth talking about. That again, it's moving around. The Bitcoin is moving around, whether it is being bought and sold or just moved around. It is active even at this high price. I think that is a positive. What is this piece of paper in here? In these old shorts that I'm wearing. God, I got to list this. I haven't worn these shorts in many years. I don't know what that is. All right, so pound that like button if you like when Adam pulls out orange pieces of paper from his shorts he hasn't worn like in 5 years. Because I don't wear shorts, really. I'm just wearing them around where I'm at. Bitcoin Meister, Bcash will reign supreme. Change my mind. Well, no, that's your opinion, Adon K Wizard. And it's a centralized, we're gonna there's something I'm gonna bring up in a second that Udi brought up. And it shows you how centralized Bcash is. So if you like centralized coins, I mean, that's your prerogative. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. So Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Bitcoin will reign supreme. I'm going to show you in a second why, and because it is not centralized, but I'm going to show you in a second why Bcash is quite centralized. We'll get there soon. All right. So speaking of centralization, yesterday's show I was talking about Libra, and something I wanted to clear up is that Libra is just a lighter form of monetary tyranny. and that you can opt into or you can avoid. It's not as bad as fiat currencies in terms of monetary tyranny, but it's up there, and you don't have to be in it. You can be into Bitcoin, but it is still a version of monetary tyranny. I wanted to point that out because I talked about monetary tyranny in my not my previous show, the show before that, but in my previous show I was talking about Libra. And again, I think it is very innovative. I think it's going to shake up the whole financial system, but it's not free like Bitcoin. There are you can be turned off, you can be monitored, you can be opted out of it by them. All right, there could be a Libra bail-in. So Jim says there was only 1 month in the 127 month life of Bitcoin. You could have sold it at a higher price. That's why stack and hold is the way to go. Stack and hold, buy and hold, strong hand, whatever way you want to say it, Jim. Thank you for the $4.99. Pound that like button, people. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you fiat freaks thinking, oh, better buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Just hold. His point is very good. There's only 1 month in a 127-month life of Bitcoin you could have sold at a higher price than what it currently is for you fiat freaks. Johnny NY, how you doing, dude? You know that there's a multi-million-dollar worth of Bitcoin holders watching your show. Yeah, I figured something like that. Yeah, I mean, who knows how much all the guys, there's some dudes that have some Bitcoin that watch this show. Definitely. And who knows, Johnny? Maybe you're the one. Maybe you're making up all that fiat value there. Who knows? You're doing good though, man. Good to see you. And remember, disruptmeister.com, over 1,350 of my shows. You can learn a lot from those archives. And there's going to always be a new show here every day, unless it's Rosh Hashanah or Passover. But we'll get into that another time. There's exceptions. The exceptions prove the rule. Pound that like button. What do we have here? Oh, also yesterday and on This Week in Bitcoin, we were talking about the number of developers in Bitcoin and the number of developers in Ethereum, who has more. And here's just a point to take away from this for all you altcoiners, for maybe all your Bcashers. Ethereum has either the first or second amount of developers. Okay. Now some people are like, well, those are lame developers. Okay, I'm not going to get into if they're lame or not so lame or whatever. But there's a big drop off onto all the. How many of the other altcoins have double-digit amounts of developers working on them? Okay, so how sustainable are those altcoins if no one's really innovating on them, no one's really working on them? And it's great that there can be small altcoins there and people can speculate on them. Let people do that. Again, it's pure gambling. I just want to put it into perspective here. So how many developers does Bcash have working on it? I mean, there was FUD the other day and I didn't mention it, but that the Bcash developers were going to quit, a bunch of them or something. I don't even care that much. It's a crypto dividend of Bitcoin. But the guy had a question before. But again, I mean, how many developers does Bcash have? I mean, how far away is that number from Bitcoin or Ethereum? I mean, when you're saying it will reign supreme, it's not even at the Ethereum level in terms of its popularity, in terms of the things you can do. I mean, what can you do with Bcash? I mean, they're building ICOs and EIEIOs on like them or hate them, on DeFi and all this ridiculousness on Ethereum. It might not be ridiculous, but Bcash, you're supposed to be able to buy coffee with. That's the selling point. And again, the market has spoken right now. People aren't buying coffee with cryptocurrency, nor are coffee sellers accepting cryptocurrency for their lovely coffee. And again, I don't drink any coffee. I don't think I've ever drank coffee in my entire life. I don't recommend it, I guess. I don't believe in caffeine at all. So, okay, 65% Bitcoin dominance we're at here. We're getting back into like the good old days. And one has to think that there's going to be a drop in the dominance at some point, because there are people that are going to get into cryptocurrency that are just going to have to diversify for the sake of diversification. Clearly, we're not getting a lot of that at this time. And clearly, some of the people who diversified for the sake of diversification in the past are throwing in the towel and getting back into Bitcoin, okay? But the dumb money, impulsive news people, I mean, there's nothing holding them back from entering cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, okay? There's nothing holding them back. It's for some reason, we are at a period of time where they're either not a lot of them coming in, or there's a lot of institutional money that's just flowing into Bitcoin that's just canceling all of them out. Now, speaking of institutional money, institutions can act like 80%ers also. Some of them have a mandate to diversify for the sake of diversification. So that's something to keep an eye on when we're talking about Bitcoin dominance, because I think when we saw some altcoin dominance increase, it was individuals buying into these things, okay, and going wild and hoping that they had the next Bitcoin. We haven't seen the institutional version of that yet, where a bunch of institutions buy into Bitcoin, they get bored, then they start buying up other altcoins with hopes that they have the next Bitcoin. And so that could cut down on Bitcoin dominance in the future. That could create an altcoin season again. Doesn't really bother me if it happens. Bitcoin is still the king, and I'm not selling my Bitcoin for altcoin. I won't. Oh, God Almighty, God forbid to even think that I would FOMO on altcoins because Wells Fargo decided to open up some fund where they were forced to diversify for the sake of diversification, and they had to buy up a bunch of Litecoin also. I mean, no, this could happen, and we have to see if the amount of what the pace is of the amount of money being tossed into altcoins. If the pace picks up compared to all of the institutional money that is going to flow into Bitcoin, if it can keep up with that pace, which for a time it may be able to do once some of those 80%er institutions get bored with just holding Bitcoin, or they're forced. They just have to. There's a mandate. All right, so I don't think this price jump in Bitcoin is being caused by dumb money at all. Clearly, some of that in 2017, that spike clearly was being caused by a bunch of Korean people coming in, gambling from South Korea, just buying Bitcoin and then buying some altcoins too. So they pumped. So the big question here is: are the rich getting richer? Is it just holders that are moving around their Bitcoin and buying their Bitcoin, and smart, wealthy people who are like, well, now's the time to get in. Now's the time to get in, because it has been a story in the mainstream media, but it hasn't triggered FOMO among the 80%ers. It's clear. And if you lived through the December 2017 thing, you definitely saw some FOMO among 80%er types, among impulsive people types, among people who had no idea what they were buying, who were just buying it at Coinbase and then selling it a month later once it dropped in price. We're not seeing that now. So I would have to assume that this price jump it's the rich are getting richer, whether it be rich fiat holders who have decided, now is the time to do this, or just already rich Bitcoin holders who are just increasing their stash. And of course, there are some altcoin people who learn their lesson the hard way and are just anti-diversification now, getting back into the rock. All right, so you can have thoughts on that. We shall see how this progress. And hey, I welcome the FOMOers, okay? But I think it's silly to FOMO. You're just, I just wanted to be 20K again, so I know that it can be as high as it used to be. That's what I'm going to get in. That's silly. If you really believe in this thing, you already know it's going to beat its all-time high. It always beats its all-time high in terms of fiat. We're one day closer to 20K. Pound that like button. Why wait to the day after 20K when you can get in beforehand? There's no logic in that. But of course, I'm not an 80%er. But tomorrow's video is about thinking like an 80%er and doing the opposite of what they do. So it is good to think about what they do, which is they FOMO and they wait until it's 20K again, because that means it's cool. You don't want to do. You want to do the opposite of that. And then they diversify. Once they're in, then they diversify for the sake of diversification. You don't want to do that. But hey, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. If you don't believe me, go ahead and experiment and learn the hard way. Hey, do your own research, people. It's out there. You can see I maintained my position the entire time. We've had clips lately about me speaking about it when it was 400, when it was 500, when it was 600, telling people to buy 10 of them. And now, I mean, what's just happened? It just hit, for you fiat freaks during the show, it hit 13,000. So if you had 10 of them, you have $130,000 worth. You know, you paid $4,000 for $130,000 worth of Bitcoin for you fiat freaks, had you been listening to me back in the day. And I do know that some of you actually did take that advice. So I congratulate. And of course, you get the crypto dividends. I mean, again, if you bought Bitcoin back in 2015, 2016, when I was saying buy 10 of them, you also have Bcash and BGold, which were forks of Bitcoin. They're called crypto dividends when they're forks and when they're airdrops. MWC is coming up. Yes, I registered for MWC. Obviously, I've said that a few times. But yeah, that's another thing. I don't buy things I can get for free. So to the guy who was asking about Bcash, why should anybody buy it? You could have gotten it for free. I got it for free. Okay, Kim Pugavkin sent $4.99 in British pounds. Hi, Adam. Once the last Bitcoin is mined, are miners going to be satisfied with fees only? Will fees be properly adjusted? How do you view this situation? Well, it's not, we shouldn't really be worrying about 21, I believe it's 2132, because unless there's life extension technology or the Moshiach has come, may the Moshiach come, we will be dead. But the thing to take into account, your real question is that it isn't, the miners aren't going to be paid very much as the rewards get cut in half every 4 years. Will the transaction fees be enough? For a time, they will be enough, but then for a time, and Tone brought this up a long time ago, Tone Base, mining will transition to entities who it will be very much worth their while to mine at a loss or mine at a very small profit in order to keep Bitcoin going, because their entire business model, their entire empire will be built around Bitcoin. There will be many enterprises in the future which entire existence will be built around Bitcoin. And for mining to not be reliable would destroy them. These are like trillionaires of the future. So they will mine Bitcoin. There will be different entities mining Bitcoin that then there'll be a different incentive structure in the future than now. Right now, it's to make money. It's to make fiat money. Those dudes don't value their wealth in Bitcoin very much, but it's going to change in the future. There will be a different, people are going to build these businesses that rely completely on Bitcoin and will become, and if Bitcoin were to, God forbid, be threatened in any way, it would destroy their empire. So they will be the Bitcoin miners of the future. So this is how it adjusts. The system will adjust over time. There will be people mining. They may be mining at a loss, but it will be keeping other enterprises of theirs alive. Okay. Moving on, what do we have? Oh, here is something that some tried to FUD on, and it wasn't FUD at all. This is from Lowe's Strife. 7,425 Bitcoin sold on Binance. And by the way, thank you for the question, Klim, and for the contribution. Thank you very much. This is 7,425 Bitcoin sold on Binance in 23 minutes tonight. That was last night. Limit ass set at 200 to 400 below the rest of the market. Someone really wanted out. Okay, so somebody did really want out. They sold for less than the market, and they got rid of it real fast. And Bitcoin was around. Binance is a huge exchange, and Bitcoin was around whatever $12,000 then. And it completely recovered. All the Bitcoin were purchased. And now Bitcoin is actually worth more in fiat as of this show. So I think that's a positive thing. In the old days, something like that could have been a really big story. It caused a lot of panic, brought the price down. It caused a week of regret and anger and craziness and FUD. But no, just a regular type of event. Someone really wanted out, and that means someone really wanted in because it was purchased. Pound that like button. All right. And here is Udi, who I'm going to, I guess I'll see him on very, very soon in person in Tel Aviv. Udi says, and this has been brought up in the past, and so some of you will think this is like a repeat, but it's important to remind everyone of the centralization of altcoins, and this is why Bcash is not going to win. One of many reasons. He says, I'm happy to announce is there a single person that can cause your decentralized cryptocurrencies value to go to zero by dying in a car crash? Research method. If your degrees of decentralization research doesn't use this method, you're an idiot. Okay, that's must mean to say, but he says, then he lists some altcoins. Ethereum, yes. So what he means by that is if a specific person in Ethereum, that person being Vitalik, died in a car crash, it could go to zero. He says Ethereum, yes. Ripple, yes. Litecoin, yes. I guess if Charlie Lee did die in a that's kind of fun. It's not funny. It's not funny if Charlie Lee were to die. God forbid. God forbid. But if he were to leave this world, that Litecoin would probably go. I don't know if it would go to zero, but it would be in bad shape, even though he sold all his Litecoin. Bcash, yes. If King of the Trolls had a bad accident and exited, yeah, what would be the worth of Bcash anymore? Seriously. I mean, I don't know if they necessarily go to zero, but the car crash, and then he says EOS, yes. He says, I guess Binance Coin, yes. Yeah, there are huge personalities behind certain ones of these coins, and if they were to leave this earth, it would be huge. And actually, there was fake news once about Vitalik leaving, and there was a big price drop, but then it recovered. All right. Someone says, I'm not going to read that. All right. I think that's the end there of the show. Yeah, that's it. Any more questions? Okay, guys. Oh, someone says Dogecoin. No. Yeah, actually, yeah. Dogecoin is a freak coin, man, because it's not changing either. It is what it is, and that's it. We'll see what that means in the it's ossified, right? That's the word, ossification. Yeah, it's frozen. It doesn't have anyone developing on it either. It is what it is, or maybe it has a few people. I don't want to rip on any Dogecoin develops theirs. Roman Q says BSV is the only exception. If Jim Jones disappeared, it would increase in value. Oh my Lord. You know what? That is really interesting, Roman. Yeah. Yeah. It would. It would probably, because I think some people would take it over. Yeah, it would increase the value for in the long run. It would go to zero, though. I think in the long run it would go to zero. But short term, it probably would increase short term. Wow. Well, I'm just gonna leave it on that note. Benson, it's good to see you there, man. Keep on making those videos. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Pound that like button, bang that bell button. If you need a reminder when this goes live, well, maybe if you need a reminder, because I don't even get the reminders when I bang that bell button for this thing. Anyway, YouTube, hey, we're going to deal with it. It is what it is. If you don't like YouTube, though, you can listen to the shows on sportsmeister.com. That's where all my podcasts are. Click on those squares. Follow me on TechBalt, TechBalt. Get all the shirts below. There will be a show tomorrow, but I will see. And maybe I'll be at the airport and live chatting with you, watching my show with you. But then my next live show will be on Thursday, and I'll see you guys in Tel Aviv. Bye-bye.